What's good everyone, welcome back to JDB Selects. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, leave your tips in the comments below and run up the likes if this video helped you make your tips for round 20 of the 2022 NRL season. Now going over our round 19 results, we managed to tip 7 out of 8 games. The Dragons continued their winning ways against the Sea Eagles, who never really got going, and we got lucky with the Tigers and Cowboys game to end the round. However, Tigers fans won't be happy, and rightly so. And yes, I did change my tip from the Warriors to the Raiders. Here is my tipping comp screenshot as proof. Round 20 gets underway with the 9th placed Manly Sea Eagles hosting the 8th placed Sydney Roosters at 4 Pines Park, Sydney. The Sea Eagles dropped out of the top 8 following a 14-point defeat at the hands of Ben Hunt and St George Dragons, who blitzed them early and defended their total. The Roosters piled on another 30-point thrashing in back-to-back weeks, this time against the Newcastle Knights, who had no answer for the Roosters' relentless attack. The Roosters have won 3 of the past 4 outings against Manly at Brookvale Oval, however both sides are evenly matched in recent times, having 5 wins each in the past 10 encounters. The Roosters have also already beaten Manly this year, way back in round 2. This is a must-win game for both teams, who have 9 wins and 9 losses apiece and are both vying for a spot in the top 8. Tough game to pick, however I am going to take the Roosters by 1 to 12 points. I think they will have more momentum following their last 2 big wins and have shown more attacking flair than Manly. The first game on Friday is back in New Zealand, where the 13th placed Warriors look to upset the 5th placed Melbourne Storm at Mount Smart Stadium. The Warriors went down to the Raiders in classic Warriors fashion, blowing a 14-0 half-time lead to go down 26 points to 14 in Canberra. The Storm suffered their 4th straight defeat for the first time since 2015, losing 24 points to 12 at the hands of Latrell Mitchell and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now history will be against the Warriors when they run out onto Mount Smart this week. The Storm have won 13 of the past 14 encounters and have a 55% win rate at the venue. However, I think with the Storm being in a form slump and down on both morale and troops, that the Warriors can capitalise on this and avenge their 60-point Anzac Day loss and claim a narrow 1 to 12-point win in front of their home fans. Keep the faith, baby, keep the faith. And the final Friday fixture is the 7th placed Parramatta Eels hosting the 1st placed Penrith Panthers at CommBank Stadium, Sydney. The Eels went down at home last week to the Brisbane Broncos by 36 points to 14, in a game which they never really looked like winning despite scoring the opening try. The Panthers were pushed to their limits at home against a very game Cronulla Sharks outfit, who gave the defending premiers a run for their money, but ultimately fell short 20 points to 10. The Eels are the only side to have beaten the Panthers this year, and I imagine the Panthers will be out for revenge. The Panthers have won 4 of the last 5 against the Eels, and interestingly enough the two sides have only played at CommBank Stadium twice, with the Eels winning one game by 16 points to 10 and the Panthers winning the other game also by 16 points to 10. 6 points seems to be the winning margin if history continues. I'm going to take the Panthers to win by 1 to 12 points. I think it's close, but the Panthers get their revenge for round 9. Super Saturday gets underway with the 15th placed Gold Coast Titans hosting the 10th placed Canberra Raiders. The Titans went down to the Bulldogs last Sunday in a high-scoring affair. However, if the Titans hadn't thrown the intercept passes that led to 2 or 3 tries, they really could have beaten Canterbury. The Raiders clawed back a 14-point half-time deficit to beat the Warriors at home last week by 26 points to 14, thanks largely to the kicking game of Jack Whiten in the second 40. The Gold Coast have lost 6 of the past 7 against the Raiders, including when they met back in round 3 earlier this year, with the Raiders edging out a 22 to 24-point win in Canberra. Now I'm probably going to kick myself for this, but I am going to take the Titans to win at home by 1 to 12 points. I really think they are due for a win, and despite their 8-game losing streak, they've shown they can be competitive against the likes of the Broncos and Sharks. The second game on Saturday is a top 8 showdown between the 3rd placed Cronulla Sharks and the 6th placed South Sydney Rabbitohs at PointsBet Stadium, Sydney. The Sharks showed they're deserving of their position near the top of the table, despite a close low-scoring loss to the defending premiers, despite leading at halftime. The Rabbitohs also continued their climb up the NRL ladder with a 12-point victory over a struggling Melbourne Storm side, who are missing a handful of their stars. It seems to be a theme this round, but these are two teams who have been evenly matched in recent years, winning 5 apiece in the last 10. The Rabbits may have won 3 of the past 4, however they haven't beaten Cronulla at PointsBet Stadium since 2014, and Cronulla have only lost 1 game at home this year. I'm going to take the Sharks to win by 1 to 12 points. I think although Cronulla have had an easier run than most, they are still deserving of their third position on the ladder. And finally, the last game on Saturday has the 4th-placed Brisbane Broncos hosting the 16th-placed Wests Tigers at Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane. The Broncos made it 3 wins in a row by comfortably defeating the Parramatta Eels 36 points to 14 in Sydney last Thursday. The Wests Tigers were quite frankly robbed by the referees in last Sunday's match against North Queensland, with the Cowboys being allowed to challenge an escort despite no stoppage in play and time expiring on the clock. Despite only having a 30% all-time winning record against the Broncos, the Tigers have won 3 of the past 4 games, which included a 48-0 thrashing back in 2020. I'm sure the Tigers will take a lot of confidence from last week despite the result not going their way. However, I have to take the Broncos to win by 13+. They're a completely different side in 2022 and should be far too strong for Wests at home. The first game on Sunday has the 14th-placed Newcastle Knights taking on the 12th-placed Canterbury Bulldogs at McDonald Jones Stadium, Newcastle. The Knights got pumped by the Sydney Roosters 42 points to 12, and to make matters worse, they lost captain Callan Ponga due to concussion for the remainder of the season. The Bulldogs improved to 12th on the ladder with a strong showing against the Gold Coast Titans, with Josh Adokar securing another hat-trick. The Knights have won 3 straight against the Bulldogs, including a 16-6 point win back in round 10 earlier this year. However, Canterbury have won 5 of their past 6 games in Newcastle. I'm going to take the Bulldogs to win by 1 to 12 points. I think this is another close game, but with Ponga out for Newcastle, I can see the Bulldogs getting the win, but only just. And the final game of round 20 has the 11th-placed St George Illawarra Dragons hosting the 2nd-placed North Queensland Cowboys at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, Sydney. The Dragons continued their winning ways against the Manly Sea Eagles, with Ben Hunt almost single-handedly securing the 20 points to 6 victory. The Cowboys really should have lost to the Tigers last week. However, arguably the worst call of the season went against Wests and allowed Valentine Holmes to kick the winning penalty. Again, both sides have won 5 of the last 10 against one another, including the Cowboys winning 31 points to 12 back in round 14 this year. The two sides have only met at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium 5 times in both clubs' history, and the Dragons have won 4 of them. However, still I'm going to take the Cowboys to win by 1 to 12 points. I think Todd Payten gets his boys back on track following that scare from the Tigers. So in summary, my round 20 NRL tips are the Roosters, Warriors, Panthers, Titans and Sharks 1 to 12. The Broncos 13+, and the Bulldogs and Cowboys 1 to 12. Let me know in the comments below who you are tipping. I think this round has a lot of close games and could be make or break for everyone's tipping competitions. Good luck this week.